Hi guys, I'm Dave in Real Life and welcome to Dave in Real Life Movies. Yes, this is you ranker video. Yes, ranker, not the other word. Yeah, in this video series we are going to have a look at movies and we're going to rank them, obviously, in order from worst to best. In this video, we are going to look at Wes Craven. Obviously, Scream 7 has just come out at the cinema this weekend. And rather than doing like the Scream franchise, which, to be quite honest with you, isn't that great, other than like Scream 1, I didn't really fancy doing that. There's a lot of YouTubers doing them kind of videos. So I thought we'd have a look at Wes Craven, one of my favourite horror directors. Yeah, obviously there's like John Carpenter and a few others, but this guy is my favourite horror director of all of the times. So yeah, without further ado, we are going to have a look at number 10 in the list of the best or worst of Wes Craven. And these are all movies that I've seen personally. I mean, maybe not for a long time seen, but certainly I have seen them at some point in my my years on this earth. Very weird intro, I know. Bear with me. But yes, at number 10 is Swamp Thing. I didn't even know this was Wes Craven, to be quite honest with you. It was very weird. A DC character brought to life by Wes. Just a little bit of a backstory. I don't really remember the film that much, to be fair. That's probably why it's so far down on the list. It was like scientists. They were trying to use plant life to get everlasting life or something to that effect. And one of the experiments went a little bit awry, and the Swamp Thing was born. He ended up living in the swamp, trying to get revenge on those what turned him into this monster. I do think they did a Swamp Thing 2, which was more comedic. I believe. I think I remember the second one more than the first one. If I'm being honest, that's bad, right? That's the reason why it's down at number 10. At number 9, let's get away from Swamp Thing, and we'll talk about Red Eye. Yes, Callum Murphy is in this movie, and I think it's Rachel McAdams who is the female. Yeah, it's a very good film. Not a horror film, though. It is very much a psychological thriller. It's what happens when you meet a stranger on a plane during the late night, and kind of the effects of that and stuff. Especially this guy is a little bit of a creep, and he goes after her, and it's how she survives this late night plane journey and the after effects of that. So it's a very good movie, and very much go check it out. But yeah, it's quite low down on this list because obviously it's not one of the films that I go back and watch on a regular basis. So yeah, that is Red Eye at number 9. I've got the list right down here, that's why I am keep checking it. Yes, the next one is at number 8. It's The Hills Have Eyes. They have done a remake of this, but we're not counting the remake in this video. We're talking about the original one. I mean, honestly, don't go camping in the Nevada desert because there is a family of cannibals what are after you. Basically, that's the premise of the entire movie, to be honest, is how this family survives after they kind of venture into the wrong part of the Nevada desert. Yeah, this is a very cannibalistic movie. These people are after eating this family. So yeah, a lot of brutal deaths in this film. And really, it's like the second of the horror films that Wes Craven did. Obviously, there was The Hills Have Eyes too. I think also directed by Wes. But yeah, obviously, this just came after the tirade of horror films that Wes was making at this particular time. Not one of the best. It depends on who you talk to. I have very bad recollections of these earlier movies, to be quite honest with you. So yeah, if I'm being a little bit vague early on in this video, is because it's been a long time since I've seen these films. The next one is People Under the Stairs. I do remember this one. Family, husband and wife, I believe, or brother and sister. I think they're married. Anyway, these guys are brutal, right? They've taken all the money. They've got people living under their stairs, well, trapped under their stairs. A little boy realizes that his house is under scrutiny. They're going to throw people out of the neighborhood. He's going to be homeless. Him and a group of others go around robbing houses, which is kind of a normal thing to do. And they go to this particular house, which is like a big, massive mansion kind of malarkey. Nobody goes in, nobody comes out. Yeah, I mean, this is kind of like one of those big houses, but, you know, you would love to rob. The little lad goes in, realizes that this house is more than just an ordinary house. And yeah, these two, what live in this house, are incredibly insane. Let's just say that they steal every scene that they're in. They're in leather. They've got the guns. They've got all the weapons, the arsenal. This kid ain't getting out alive, let me tell you. It's a great movie, actually. People Under the Stairs is very underrated. You should check it out. Vic Grimes of the film, which just not that one, though. A bit further on. Can I get the finger right? No, not the Star Wars, not the Back to the Future. It's the first one there, the Pulp Fiction one. What's there? Well, got it. It's so hard to do that when you're not really. Anyway, it's there anyway. But yeah, Pulp Fiction. I'm not really doing very well at this, am I? Anyway, doesn't matter. Then at number 6 is Deadly Friend. I mean, I absolutely love Deadly Friend. It's about a guy and his robot. This guy makes his own artificial intelligence. The kid is a genius, right? This kid is a flipping whiz. I think he even has is in university above his own age range. He has managed to create this artificial intelligent robot who becomes his best friend. He has a girl interest. He sees that she's having a problem with her family life. In fact, she ends up falling down the flight of steps after being pushed down by her father. He takes the robot and places that robot brain into the female. And at first, you'd think he's cracked it. He's managed to bring his girlfriend alive. But sadly, she became more like the robot. Honestly, once that transformation happens, this girl goes absolutely crazy. Don't trust her with a basketball, let's just say that. And she just becomes really super powerful. I think the robot is BB. And by the end of the movie, the robot literally takes over. You know, the famous jump scares that we get in horror movies. This one had one of those famous jump scares. The thing is, the lad in this wasn't, for me personally, wasn't very warm. He felt a little bit too like I'm a bit of a clever clogs. So I'm kind of glad that he got his comeuppance in the end. It has Kirsten Swanson. Her first role, she went on to do Buffy the Vampire Slayer and, of course, other movies. But yeah, honestly, I actually like this film. I saw this one time, late night BBC here in the UK. And yeah, I think I've only ever seen it a couple of times after that. But Deadly Friend's really, really good. So that's why that is at number 6. We're now into the top 5 and Wes Craven's first horror film. Wes Craven was famously known for doing porno. Yes, that word. Adult entertainment. And this was his first venture out of this, and this exploitation horror movie, Last House on the Left, is at number 5. It's about a group of 2 young women who went out to see a concert, kind of behind their parents' back. They were just saying that they were having a sleepover. They come across this young lad who said that they had drugs, and that's when it all went awry. They ended up being raped, even killed to a bloody extent. I mean, honestly, the main character was called Crooked. or Krug, because obviously he was named after like the bully of Wes Craven, who we would find out later would become Fred Krueger. But yeah, I mean, this film is one of those video nasties. It took a long time to get unbanned here in the UK. I think it's probably still banned in other countries. But yeah, it's just one of them. It's like I Spit on Your Grave and that kind of thing at that time, where these movies just weren't allowed at all. But now obviously you can go out and rent this movie anytime you want. You can all go and buy this movie, I should say. They have done a remake. The remake, I would say it was a little bit tamer than the original. I mean, the original was so shocking. It does tell you, breathe, remember this is just a movie. This is just a movie. This is just a movie. I think there's something to that effect. But it's so good. And it's The Last House on the Left deserves its number 5 spot. At number 4, I don't think this is a better movie, but I've just got a better affiliation with this movie. I did have this on VHS when I was younger. And it's Shocker. Horace Pinker. He became my new Nightmare on Elm Street. He became my new Freddy Krueger for a short time. I mean, this is just a one-off movie. It's about a young lad who witnesses in a dream or a premonition a murder. And he actually goes after this guy, what did the murder. Well, you find out that it's his dad. Horace Pinker is his dad. He prays to the electric god. I mean, I know it's batshit crazy, but these movies are in the 80s and early 90s. They are batshit crazy. But he gets electrocuted. But instead of dying, he turns into the electric. Yeah, go figure. So he ends up swapping different bodies, but he has got shot in the leg from the previous scene. So these people are dragging their legs across so that you know it's him. It's like a character trait. There is a fantastic scene in this movie where they actually go into TV, both of them. Yeah, Dot Haskell, the young lad, gets into the TV, but Horace Pinker, obviously electric, he can. And they just show up on all these different shows. So there's a news presenter. All of a sudden, they're fighting in front of him. They're in a war film, a country and western movie. Honestly, it's absolutely insane, but honestly, very much worth a watch. Very bloody in places, but honestly, it's well worth it. I do think it was on YouTube for a time for free, so I don't know if it's still there, but it's certainly worth a watch if you can find it. I think we will do a few honourable mentions after the second one. Obviously, with Scream coming out, we've got to talk about Scream movie, and it is the original Scream movie at number 2. Why have I put... Oh, no. I've kicked out number 3. We'll talk about number 3 first. Little sneaky peek there to number 2. But yeah, number 3 is New Nightmare. Number 3. Obviously, Wes Craven's got his name attached to it. With the poor ending of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Wes had a dream that Freddy came back, but not as Freddy Krueger, as this ancient demon who had latched on to the lure of Freddy Krueger because that franchise had ended. He came alive and wanted to take on that role and come into the real world. The other premise of this movie is that it wasn't Nancy or the lieutenant, her father. It would be actually the actors in the original Nightmare on Elm Street movie. So Heather Langenkamp would play herself. Robert Englund would play himself. John Saxton would play himself. It's such a meta movie. And without this movie, the Scream franchise doesn't exist. Because because of how well this got received, Wes went on and writ Scream. So yeah, you've got a lot of thanking to do. I mean, this movie is carrying a lot of weight for that Scream franchise. If this didn't succeed, Scream doesn't get made, basically. So yeah, this movie, it's a bit poor in places. I don't like the finale. The finale could have been a lot better. But that's just a little gripe from myself. But yes, just the callbacks to the original Nightmare on Elm Street movies. It was after Freddy's dead, we needed this. Absolutely needed something to cleanse the palate, because Freddy's Dead left absolute bitterness in the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise for sure. And this was just like a wake-up call. And it kind of told New Line that they needed more Nightmare on Elm Street movies, and this like kind of relit that torch for like Freddy versus Jason. So yeah, like I say, it did open a doorway for Scream, but also opened that doorway to do another Nightmare on Elm Street movies going forward. Yeah, the 2010 one we'll ignore. But anyway, we're finally going to go on to number 2. I know, spoilers. I've already told you what's at number 2, but it is Scream. Scream at number 2. I absolutely adore the first one, not so much the rest. So that's why I didn't want to do a ranking of them videos. That's why we're doing this one. Scream honestly brought Neve Campbell, Neve, whichever way you want to call her. It doesn't really matter. She can't hear me. But yeah, it also brought Courtney Cox, David Arquette. They even got married after these series of films. And yeah, I mean, Jamie Kennedy got a comedy career out of doing Scream. Matthew Lillard, obviously, would go on to many other franchises like Scooby-Doo, amazingly. And of course, the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise, which is currently happening right now. He's actually returned in Scream 7, apparently. So Matthew Lillard doing very well for himself. Yeah, they just took the story of a slasher and wearing the ghost-faced outfit. And you know what? The reason why that franchise continues the way it has is because anybody could play the Ghostface. Anybody could be in that suit. So it works, right? It works. So with that being said, this could never end. It's the never-ending Scream franchise. How they finish the Scream franchise is that they probably have to kill off Sidney Prescott. And that's the only way that they're going to move away from the Ghostface. Finally gets it done. Finally kills her. End of movies. Maybe I've just given the entire plot away for Scream 8. But anyway, yeah, Scream is just fantastic. It mixture of comedy, meta, horror, has everything in it. Very good movie. And never ever say when you're leaving a room, I will be right back. Because the chances are you won't. Anyway, we go on to number 1, Wes Craven's best movie ever. Well, it's not my favourite of the franchise, but it's certainly my favourite Wes Craven movie of all the times. And that is Nightmare on Elm Street. Of course it is. Of course it is. That 1984 classic horror movie which brought Freddy Krueger to the TV screen. I mean, honestly, when this character was created, we'd already had Jason Voorhees and Michael Myers. Michael Myers, obviously, after his sister on Halloween. And then we had Voorhees attacking kids at Camp Crystal Lake. But the only thing is, they didn't talk. They were muted. They never muttered a single word. So they were silent attackers. Whereas Freddy was quick with the one-liners. And you think this is God? I mean, honestly, the charisma of Freddy Krueger shone through this entire movie. And plus, the one thing, the place where you think you're the safest is when you're asleep. He attacked you when you were in your safe place. I mean, that. Do not close your eyes. Do not dream, because Freddy's going to be there to get you. You know what I mean? It's such iconic, and it made him one of the most horrific, horrifying characters in horror history. I mean, he is goated, absolutely goated as a character, and that movie is totally goated. I mean, honestly, a story of me when I was younger, I watched that film for the very first time. It literally scared the living Jesus out of me. I mean, my dad had, I think, Nightmare on Elm Street 1, 2, I don't think he had 3. I think he had one of the Friday the 13th movies. I sat through the first one. Didn't stomach sitting through the rest. I was done. I tapped out after the first Nightmare on Elm Street because it really did scare me. It scared me absolutely shitless, especially the blood of Glenn's death, which was Johnny Depp. Obviously, Johnny Depp starred in that movie. It was his first movie role. Actually, fun story about Johnny Depp. He wasn't actually meant to be in that movie. It was Wes Craven's daughter what saw him, and she just said, "Look, Dad, you've got to put him in this movie. You've got to put Johnny Depp in this film." So thank you to Wes Craven's daughter that Johnny Depp got his big break in TV. And in fact, he slept on Robert Englund's couch, or was it Mark Hamill what slept on his couch? Somebody slept on somebody's couch. But anyway, that's a story for another day. But yeah, that is my top 10 Wes Craven movies. Have I missed anything? Count honourable mentions, like I said, to like Wishmaster, which wasn't even directed by Wes, but it was penned by Wes. He did do the screenplay. And obviously, there's, what is it? Serpents and Rainbows, I think. Rainbows and Serpents, something like that. With... Phil Pillman, is it? Phil Pillman, Brian Pillman, something like that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I'm probably not keeping that bit in. I might do. But anyway, that is my Wes Craven top 10. If you have any Craven films that you think should have made the top 10, leave that in the comment section below. Instead of criticising my top 10, do your own top 10 in the comment section below as well, and see what we can come up with. Anyway, this is me, you wanker video for Wes Craven and his top 10 movies. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I've been Dave from Real Life Movies. You guys have been awesome. And hold on, I'll be right back. Till the next time, bye for now.